Good morning. Right, I'm going to do another video on pointing today, so it might be useful if you're into that kind of thing or if you're wanting to learn how to do it. My previous video focused on repointing after pressure washing. Well, today I'm going to be doing a full pointing up job. I laid a patio a couple of months ago and I am back to do the pointing now because everything else in the landscape project is done, so we're just tidying up the little bitty bits. Okay, right, so I'm going to go through the mixture again, because for me it's all about getting the mix perfect, getting the consistency right, and getting the feel of it right in your hands so that you can work with it properly. Because if that ain't right, everything else is just a nightmare. Okay, if it's too wet, if it's too dry, you know, if it's not strong enough. So I'll get all the tools out and we'll get set up, and I've got to clear the way first. It's going to take me 20 minutes, isn't it, to clear the alleyway. So yeah, let's see what happens. So let's take a look at some of the pointing I've been doing this morning. Now, annoyingly, I made the mix too wet, unfortunately. It's dried out now. It's actually at what I would call the perfect consistency now. It's dried out quite a bit. So when I do this final section, I can do it just the way I want to, but I put a bit too much water in this morning and it was a little bit wet, and almost doesn't matter because it was a little bit damp this morning anyway, and we've had a little bit of rain as well. So my drier approach to how I would normally point up, it's just had to well, take a back seat this morning. So this is where I've done so far. Here's a look at what's been pointed and then cleaned. Okay, so it's going in relatively wet and then cleaned off afterwards. And then this is a section now that I've pointed, and I've just gone over with the sponge to smooth out the gaps, just to get everything nice and level. Oh, I haven't done that bit actually, so I need to smooth that out. Okay, so what I'll be doing now is just going over it now with a sponge, cleaning it properly, so it'll end up looking like that. Then I'll show you what this looks like in a moment. It'll probably take me 20 minutes to clean this, but that is what it is. And then I'm going to do the final section, doing it the way I prefer to do it, drier, pushing it in, and I can brush it off rather than having to use a sponge. So alright, so I've given it 2 clean downs so far. I'm going to sit, because it's bad breaking. I've done 2 clean downs. I'm not worrying about any smearing or anything like that when it all dries, because it's so thin, it's going to come off very quickly, whether it be weathered. I have been asked to pressure wash this. I wanted to do it before I pointed. Okay, it'll be a few months down the line now before that could probably happen, but I wanted to do it before it was pointed, and I wanted the ground to be dried for when I started pointing. I didn't get that in the end, but whatever. So in hindsight, I guess I could have pressure washed it, but also the whole place was just a bit of a tip, and I've just got the day to do this lot, and I didn't want to spend it completely clearing this area and then run out of time at the end of the day. So I'm going to keep going now. So I've got the dryer mix. The ground is a lot drier than it was when I started. I think I will film this, because why not? Why not? So this here was putting in wet mix, so you have to clean it afterwards. Dry mix, put it in, and you will just brush it off afterwards. Alright, so if you look at that, it's damp enough so that it holds itself together, but not so wet that it leaves any smearing or staining on the concrete flags.
it's pretty important for these flags as well because they're not like really smooth on the surface. So cleaning them off after is a bit tricky. So I'm able just to drag it along, and then when I do press it in with that spatula, I think that's called a tuck pointer. When I do push it in with that, there is enough moisture in it to bind it all together and keep it nice and smooth. And of course, the Feb mix is what's absolutely crucial to that. So maybe I'll come back here in a few weeks and do another shot of how it looks in hindsight. Anyway, not too much more on this now. You get the point. The point. So yeah, it's basically like that. And I prefer that method. I think it's quicker, it's cleaner. It is quicker because you're not having to clean up quite the same, going around with a sponge. So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. Got any questions? Just get in touch. I don't know if I'll do another more of these videos. It's all pretty much the same, but thanks for watching.